Hello, it's good to be back with you. We've talked in prior lectures about citation format and in particular about introductory signals. This video will continue that conversation, showing you how to punctuate signals properly. You remember our roadmap, this cite to Galt v. Garrison. As you know, this first bit here in red is the introductory signal. It tells your reader, usually an attorney, a lot about how strongly a given citation supports your argument. In this example, the signal "but see" actually contradicts the argument. That's the substance of the signal, and it's important to think that through and use the right signal. But it's also important to format the signal correctly. With regard to formatting, there's really only one rule you need to know. The only signal that needs a comma is e.g. There are two ways to remember this. First, think about e.g.'s meaning. For example, if you were using e.g. spelled out as an initial clause, you'd follow it with a comma. If you were using it spelled out as a subclause, you'd set it off with commas on both sides. It's the same here, abbreviated in a citation. The second way to remember this is to think of e.g. as a comma magnet. It will attract commas to both sides if possible, and to one side if not. Just to drive the point home, here's a list. As you can see, there are no commas. None of these other signals need them. The only punctuation you see is the period after CF, and you won't forget that because CF is an abbreviation. As a final note on formatting, you'll also need to either underline or italicize your signals, just like the case name. My rule is to underline the entire signal, including the spaces and punctuation, except the final comma. Some examples will make that rule more understandable. As you can see here, the only thing you won't underline is the final comma. But one way to look at this is that the final comma really isn't a part of the signal, so that's why it doesn't need any underlining. Just to drive the point home a bit, let's take a look at two more slides. Here's the first one. You underline the entire signal, including the spaces within the signal, and the punctuation within the signal. But the final comma, if any, is outside the signal and shouldn't be underlined. With these conventions in mind, you'll be able to format your signals correctly. This will make your bluebooking more sophisticated and your memoranda and briefs more professional. It will help at least a little bit to build your credibility with readers so they'll trust you with more complicated tasks like communicating rules of law and drawing analogies between your case and precedential cases. Thanks, and see you next time when we talk about explanatory parentheticals.